Hey, hi, I'm Pinakin Abhyankar and welcome to the demonstration of Vagrant and Ansible. Before we start with the demonstration, let me brief you about what is Vagrant and Ansible. So Vagrant and Ansible are categorized as configuration management tools, wherein Vagrant we can use it to create a virtual server and Ansible can be used to configure it. So to start with it, we need to create a new folder. So let's start with it. So new folder, we'll give that folder a name. So let's say it's new_host. So we can open a git bash over here. Now in order to create a virtual machine in this folder using Vagrant, we need to first initialize a Vagrant. So for that we have a command. So this is the command. So as you can see, this is initializing a Vagrant and we are about to set up an Ubuntu Trusty64 box, or rather we are going to create this image of this particular Ubuntu machine in this particular folder. If we choose to create a different operating system or different box, then we can give that particular name instead of Ubuntu Trusty64. So this command will create a Vagrant file in new host folder. So yeah, so now if you see, so if you go to this particular folder, this is the file. So this is a configuration file for the Vagrant. So whatever configuration you need to do related to Vagrant, you can do it in this particular file. So now since we have initialized the box, now let's start it. So for that we have command vagrant up. So vagrant up basically will download all the information which is required to start the box if it is not already present. If it is already present, then it will just start the virtual machine and get it ready for you. So as you can see, it's importing the base box because we are doing it for the first time in this particular folder. Yeah. So now, so it's booting VM. You can see it's booting VM. It has created the SSH key and the username for us. Now it's generating the private key, SSH private key for the access. Yeah. So now our machine is up and running. So now in order to access this machine, we need to access it through SSH, and for that we need to execute this particular command vagrant SSH. So this will allow us to access this machine via command prompt. So as you can see, we have logged in into the machine. So now this is our virtual box, and this is how we are going to set up the virtual boxes in Vagrant. Now will come the Ansible part, wherein we'll do the configuration of this machine and we'll install several things on this machine as a part of configuration using Ansible playbook. So before that, we need to do the installation for Ansible, and for that we need to execute several commands. if we open Ansible installation, we would be able to find those commands. Yeah. So we need to execute these commands, set of commands, one by one. So this is the initial setup which we need to do before we install Ansible. So usually it will take a couple of minutes for you to install it. So that's done. And then we are ready to install Ansible. Yeah. So now we are done with the Ansible installation. So how can you check whether it's installed or not? You can go to etc directory. Inside that you will find a folder named as Ansible. Yeah. So that means the Ansible has been installed on your system. Now if you see, this particular Ansible folder has ansible.cfg file. So now this ansible.cfg file is nothing but your configuration file. So this particular file will be used to configure the Ansible. So for now we are not going to use it. So now let's focus on creating a playbook. Playbook is a way of Ansible to do the configuration part using a single file. So all we have to do is we have to create a YML file. We have to place it in some folder. We have to write all the tasks we need to perform as a part of configuration in that YML file, and then we need to execute that YML file using the Ansible commands. So let's do it step by step. So first we'll create a playbook file. So say let's create it in the Vagrant folder. So I create a blank file named as my playbook.yml. So it has created a file. So now let's open it up. So for our reference, I have already created this file in my local machine. So for that, So it looks something like this. So it has various bunch of tasks which are collected together. So like you can see over here, there is a task with the name setup node.js. There is another task which is installing node.js and npm. Then with one task we are installing git. Then in another we are cloning a repository. Then we are installing all the npm packages for a particular application. Then we are doing some security checks, and then ultimately we are deleting temporary files from the temporary folder. So now let's copy content of this YML onto our virtual machine. So there we go. Yeah, so I guess I have missed something. So, hosts. This is good, and 1 2 3. So let's save the file. Yeah. So now we are all set to configure this particular server. So for that we'll use the Ansible command, Ansible -playbook, and our file path for the playbook, my playbook. So now as soon as I will execute this command, Ansible will read the file, it will parse it, and it will start executing all the tasks one by one. So let's see. Yeah, so as you can see, Ansible is executing the tasks and is also giving us a status message for the task. So what task it is currently executing? It is setting up the node.js. So this name is the one which we had given in our YML file. So it will go sequentially and it will execute all the tasks. So now it's installing node.js and npm. After that will come git, forever git. Then we'll do some security checks, and then ultimately we'll delete the files from temporary folder. So these are the sequence. This is the sequence of tasks. Oops, my bad. It should have been clone git repo, not clean. Anyways, yeah. So now it has executed all the tasks, and it says OK 12. That means it has successfully executed all the tasks mentioned in the playbook file. Yeah. So this is the way we can configure the remote machines using one single file known as playbook file. So that's all about Ansible and Vagrant. Thank you so much.